got to ask you, as a fellow lawyer, about this Sam Bankman-Fried speaking to everybody. He's basically on the top of the Empire State Building, talking to anybody who wants to about his alleged crimes. This guy's looking at a very real possibility of getting charged and going to prison. And yet he appears at some summit yesterday with some anchor from CNBC, answers all sorts of questions. This morning he's on with George Stephanopoulos, answers all sorts of questions, and made all sorts of admissions. I'm going to give you a flavor. We'll spend a minute on that before we get to Casey. Here he is with Stephanopoulos this morning.
Carolyn Ellison says you knew that FTX funds were being funneled to Alameda. Did you know that?
I knew that there is an open margin position there and that involved...
I know, but that's not what I'm asking.
I didn't know that there was something beyond a large, I believed, over-collateralized margin position on FTX. It was only in the last month that I put together the magnitudes of everything.
So if she's in court and you're in court and she's under oath and you're under oath and you're asked, did you know that these funds were being funneled to Alameda, what is your answer?
I did not know that there is any improper use of customer funds.
It says that the digital assets may not be loaned to FTX trading. They can't be loaned out.
There existed a borrow lending facility on FTX. And I think that's probably covered, I don't remember exactly where, but somewhere else in the terms of service. I wasn't spending any time or effort trying to manage risk on FTX, and that obviously
that's a stunning admission.
What?
That's a pretty stunning admission.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. What happened.
Are you worried about going to jail?
There are a lot of things that are worrying me right now.
I'll bet. Yeah.
He must have been living in this fantasy world of his so long that he is so detached from reality and life and consequences. I mean, this is unreal. It's absolutely unreal. Let's just hope that there's a true investigation and that people will actually take a look at him and treat him like anyone else would be treated, despite the fact that he, I guess, it has access to lots of money and has given lots of money to many influential people.
Right, which he admits now was all part of a scam just to woo people into supporting his company, that none of that was real. He was trying to buy their buy-in to his company so that they wouldn't criticize him, presumably when the chips came tumbling down. He's been accused of basically fraud, of taking his crypto exchange, FTX, and taking investors' money and using it to cover losses on his hedge fund called Alameda, which was run by his girlfriend, who's about 4 years old from the pictures. And that's a no-no. That's a legal no-no. You're not allowed to take funds for the one exchange and use it to cover losses on another company. And that's where he was sort of trying to hedge his bets on Stephanopoulos' questions, like, I never used money improperly. It's kind of where he landed. And then it admitted, I never managed risk at all.
The lack of sophistication with this guy for someone who had, who obviously is bright to a certain extent, but there's got to be something that blocks his brain to understand that there are consequences for what you're doing. The legal ramifications. I mean, everything that he is doing is the opposite of what anyone with any level of common sense would do in his position, knowing what is at stake, which is your life and your liberty, your freedom, right? Your ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You could end up in a prison cell. I mean, this is unreal what is taking place, but I guess that's how he got to where he is. I mean, it's that mentality and it's that haircut. You just put the two together and he is what he is.
It's so dumb, though. There have been others with this kind of hubris. I'm thinking of Alec Baldwin, who just think, I know better. I know better. Trust me. You get me in front of the camera. I can sell my story. This guy could be going to prison for decades. He needs to keep his mouth shut. And he was asked by the CNBC moderator, what do your lawyers feel about you being here? And he was like, yeah, they're totally against it. But I don't see much good in me hiding and pretending that the world is not out there. No, that's not the point. That's not the point at all. It's like, don't make any more admissions. Don't make it any worse for yourself than it already is. So And that's what he's doing. And I mean, good in a way, because if he defrauded a bunch of investors, we want to see this guy held to account. But I will say the one thing, as I just mentioned, I appreciated hearing was him just calling a fraud on all this, like, this social justice giving that these companies do, and the attempt to manipulate people into thinking they're good people. Those are the ones that need to have red flags on them. Those companies who are engaged in that are doing it for a reason. Here he was talking about that yesterday at SOT 6.
There's a bunch of bullshit that regulated companies do to try and look good. And these are things that everyone who does them basically knows they're kind of dumb, that these are not things that are making large impact on the world.
I mean, that he gives it up right there, Vinny. It's like, when these companies are doing this, there's even more reason to look into them, because they're trying to buy your willingness to look the other way.
Absolutely. Look at this. We're really nice. We do all these great things over here, but whatever you do, don't look over in the other direction. I mean, that's what's going on. We see it. We're living it. We'll see if anything changes, but I don't know. I don't know if things are going to change, because they invest enough time and effort in that shiny object to divert everyone's attention, that all of a sudden they get a pass. And maybe this is the case, though. Maybe this is the case with the spotlight on it, that maybe starts to pull back on what's really happening. And let's just hope so. And Megyn, please don't speak so loudly in giving advice to alleged criminals. We want them prosecuted. We want them locked up. We want them to pay a price. I always have to be careful on court TV, because sometimes I start doing that and I'm like, well, hopefully they're not listening tonight, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, talk all you want, because it's fascinating for us as journalists, and I don't really care whether he goes to prison or not. It's like, great, if you did it, I'd love to see you go away. You hurt a lot of people from what I read in the papers. Now it's actually kind of interesting to hear people like Jim Cramer. He was on CNBC this morning like, oh, it's not alleged, he's a fraudster. I'm just going to call it. Meanwhile, he's featured in an ad for the guy's company saying, like, they're amazing. Like, all these people who helped build him up are now like, oh, he's horrible. Well, why didn't you look into it more before you endorsed him? Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? Oh my God. Yet another thing to worry about. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses. Is this explaining a lot in your world? Then pay attention, because Miracle Brand offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding, like sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundering of them. Miracle Brand sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you'll get better sleep every night. They are infused with natural silver that prevents 99.9% of bacterial growth. How about that? Miracle Sheets, the well-named, are the perfect gift for your spouse, friends, and family. Who doesn't want better sleep and luxurious feeling bed sheets? And since these come with 3 free towels, you get 2 gifts in 1. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Go try miracle.com/MK to try it today. Okay? Go to trymiracle.com/MK to try it today, or gift it to someone special this holiday season. And Miracle is so confident in their product, it is backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Brand. Go to trymiracle.com/MK. Trymiracle.com/MK and use that code MK to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, trymiracle.com/MK to treat yourself, a friend, or a loved one this holiday season. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.